You must be running on a laptop, some kind of laptop. So you're not supposed to be using your phone for anything at this point, because obviously we are going to be deploying some things around.
Derry, can you like adjust your microphone? I can't hear you properly. I'm sorry.
My mic again. Okay, just one second.
How about now?
Loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and
Oh, but
clear,
this,
bro.
oh, but this mic, the mic will just stress me, bro.
Just they use your earpiece now.
Oh, my earpiece not going to work, safe.
Or I just continue this one way they use the work. Thank you.
Okay, so for starters, I didn't really have enough time this week to sort of like come up with and prepare some things for us to actually walk through. But I went through the code jam. I discovered that the procedures there are pretty much straightforward, and I think I would just sort of like um point you guys to the environment and how you can sort of like start doing things on your own. And then I think my colleague will just sort of like throw a little bit of light on it, and then we'll be distributing assignments, and I think that will be it for us today. Except probably Edmond has some things to talk as well. And just give me a sec to just share my screen. This week has really been a very hectic week for me. I've just been jumping from one thing to the other. Can you guys
I
see my
won't get
screen?
me. I won't get meeting now, sir, before.
I swear. Today not be like Saturday.
Oh, well, let me see. All right.
So guys, the email looks like this. You just need to click on this sign in. But when you are signing in, be sure that you use the email address that has been registered for the code jam. So if you are using another email address, it wouldn't work. So you just sort of like use the email address that you are currently registered with, and then when you click sign in, it just takes you to the environment. But you see here that I've already started. I'm already inside of the environment. So I think apart from that, everything else is pretty straightforward. You just need to select the parts, and after getting access to the parts, you just need to sort of like start. There are videos, illustrations. Um, so there are video illustration that can actually do the explanation even much more better than I can do. And over here, everything has been carefully drafted into minutes, and each section that has its own. And I mean, the stuff has already been organized here, right? So just sort of like look through it, and then the minute you have completed a section, you just move on to the next. So they're just introduction, Google Cloud, then running some instances, running some storages, working with containers, then applications in the cloud, then deploying applications, and the last session is just talking about monitoring. Once you are very familiar with this, the next thing that you just be looking at is how to look at how the questions are being structured. And I mean, after that, we'll just be doing some hands-on. I will be bringing some applications for us to deploy. Some React applications and some some Node.js backend as well. So and some of us will also be deploying databases as well. So I mean, there's nothing much for me to really talk on today because we have transcripts. Everything is has been very organized. What you just need to do is to find your way inside of this environment and then start learning. Or you now work on the you now look at the hands-on. Yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Derry. I think Martin and Emmanuel, they have their hands up. Emmanuel, do you want to ask a question?
I wanted
Yes,
to ask a
I
question.
want to
No.
ask a question.
All right.
Okay, go ahead with your question,
Okay,
Emmanuel.
okay, my question is when I opened my email, I signed it, but the environment that he just opened wasn't the one that I got into. So, hello,
See,
can you
see,
hear me?
see, yeah. See, the thing here is that I've already selected the study part, but let me just try and check if I can do something around that. The thing here
Um,
is that
there, let me help him out with it.
okay, okay.
All right. So let me just share my screen. Just a quick one. All right. Emmanuel,
Yeah.
you're asking a question relating to the compute, right? Compute engines and the
Yes, yes,
resources, right? So now, when you click on this create virtual machines, it
yeah.
takes you to a link. I think I was having similar problem earlier. Let's give it some time. So now this is what it gives to you, and it say create a virtual machine. So it gives you more of like the introduction part of the virtual machines. Now these are the prerequisites. So you will be familiar with Vim, Emacs, and Nano. These are like text editor. So Vim is a text editor, Emacs is a text editor, Nano is a text editor. So when you're working with Linux operating system, most times these are like the default text editor, like your VS Code that comes with it. So Nano is more of like a terminal. So let me give you an example of Nano. So by the time you come to the cloud here and you want to, let's see, touch, what should we write? Okay. Touch, let me write a code, Nano list.sh. So this is your Nano code editor. This is how your Nano looks like. How this system is behaving. Calm down now, boss. Let's see. So this is how your Nano looks like. So if you look at this place now, you see something like GNU Nano, right? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. I think I can see Emmanuel and
I can
Goodluck.
hear
They
you.
have their hands up.
Okay.
They have
So
their hands up.
this is your Nano. So more of like the way you write your VS Code, you can write your Nano code here. So you can just say, okay, ls, which is list. So if you want to write probably a batch code, you can say, okay, fn I think f, that's what they use in batch. Or what did they do again? Let me see if they have any batch codes, so I'll be sure. So in batch, it is fi. Okay, I think I'm trying to explain batch. In batch, they don't do if in batch. What they use is fi in batch, and if you want to close the loop for the batch, you say end fi, something like this. So
Yeah.
probably you
Sorry,
want.
sorry, Douglas. Sorry, Douglas. I am sorry to cut you short. Um, I believe not everyone is acquainted with this platform, the way it is, the Google Cloud Console. Not everyone is actually familiar with the Google Cloud Console because, as you can see here, on the right hand side, on the left hand side, you have all the
This
tools. Yeah, all the tools that you can actually work with, the VPC, the what's it called? So not everyone is actually familiar with the platform. I believe that's the reason why Good Luck and Martin, they have their hands up. They want to ask a question. Good luck.
Okay, so I'll still get to that. So I'm just giving him example of how the Nano and the Vims looks like, and the Emacs.
All, all
Yeah.
right.
So I'll still touch that. So now, for instance, this like for Linux, they make use of batch. So most times we use Nano for batch. So I want to just write, okay, let's list the directory. So to save it, you hit Command O and enter. To exit, you hold Command X and you leave. So if I want to run the code, all I have to do is dot slash ls lists.sh. It said permission denied. So let me see ch mode. Hmm. So the reason why it was actually giving this error, this initial error here, where is it? If you look at this place, you say see where is it? Okay, yeah. If you look at it here, can you guys see my screen? Is it bold enough? Hello.
Yes, I can see your
Hi.
screen.
Yeah. So in Linux, this particular one here, you see something like permission denied. And the reason why it was flagging up permission denied is because this particular script hasn't been set to executable. So there are a couple of stuffs in Linux, ls-la. So in Linux, you can see something like arrow w arrow. So X, when anywhere you see X, it makes executable. Anywhere you see arrow, it means read. Then anywhere you see W, it means write. So alongside because of this particular let's say is it a study jam? So along this study jam, we get ourselves acquainted with Linux environment. So all this will get to know it better. Now, if we look at this code here, we see that it's on a green color. And now when we see it here now, we see that it has a read access, which is arrow. It has a write access, which is W. It has an X access, which is executables. So this is like the core ones relating to Linux. So for us to like edit certain scripts, for us to write our bash script, our Python script, and the rest of them, when you're working with server most times, like what Derry said the last time we were having the first section we had, most times you don't, in fact, when you're working with server, you don't use UI. There is no GUI relating to servers. So when you're editing your code, you have to use more of like a command line environment. So you have to get yourself acquainted with Nano. Nano is more of like the way you still write your code. Now we just saw that I just wrote this code, this batch, just a list directory code using Nano. So you use things like Nano, Emacs, and Vim. So Vim is for the grandfather. So I don't know how to write Vim, but I don't like Vim entirely because Vim looks strange. So this how Vim looks like. Let me see if I can leave this place on. Okay, Vim looks like it looks strange. Then Emacs, I don't think I've used Emacs before. So the one I use mostly is okay. I've not used that guy before. So let me see. So the one I use mostly is Nano, and Nano is more friendly. So when they say these particular ones, these Vim, Emacs, and Nano, they say you should get yourself acquainted with it. So most times when you get yourself acquainted with it is how to save and how to exit. So if you want to save in Nano, you use Control O to save in Nano. So after writing your code, you use Control O to save instead of Control S. Then you use Control X to exit. So if you want to do force exit without saving, you can use Control Z. So that's for Emacs. So now when they come to this place now, they said, okay, let's start up this let's set up your quick lab. I think my time is running out here.
Hello,
So
hello, please. I guess I didn't receive email for this to get access
can you
to
receive
this
email
place.
for this?
To get access to this place, like I did not see that link, create virtual machine on the email I received.
Oh, you didn't receive this particular email.
Yeah, I got hello, blah 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 blah, but I did not see the place where it say here is a lab in which requires guest goals. I didn't receive this email bearing this. The only
Me
one
too.
I
I didn't
received
receive
was
any email.
Oh,
the
you
only
didn't
one I
receive.
received. Yes, stopped at please send an email to GDG support. Blah blah blah. That's where email I received stopped.
Likewise.
That's serious.
That's where the email I received stopped. This other information is there. I did not see it on
I
my
not
end.
see it too.
Edmond. Hello, Edmond. Hello, Edmond, are you there?
Yeah, let me share my screen so I can share them my email. Let me see if it's what they received.
Okay, no problem.
Is it this email that you guys received?
No.
Oh, my, the email what I received now be this one.
Okay,
What
please,
did you
can you
say?
share your screen? Can you share your screen? Let me.
Can you
Martin,
guys
Okay.
can you guys share your screens?
Now let
Okay,
me
let
share.
me
I'm
let me
coming.
share my. Okay.
And let's start with Martins.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. This is the email I received.
okay, take it down. Larry, I think this is the same email you received now, right?
But there's nowhere to click any or something.
No, it's not the same email Daryl received.
Okay, yeah, this is not the same email he received.
Uh-huh.
Likewise, this is kind of email I received, but your email address has been registered. So what you do is this: you go to Cloud Skill. Just go to cloudscaleboost.google.
You
Okay,
say
cloud skill.
cloud
Boost
skill boost.
skills, yeah, Cloud Skills Boost. Let me put it on the.
Um, Edmond, is it possible to share it on the Slack channel?
Yeah, of course. I am doing that right away.
I've dropped it on the chat. Please, Martins, you have to mute yourself. Your background is noisy.
Hello, yeah. You see?
I said your background is noisy. You might have
Okay.
to mute yourself.
So are we signing in or joining?
You
Let
have
me
to
see.
sign in because you have it's already a Google account. You just sign in.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the signing, Edmond, you know, I sent you one stuff earlier
Okay.
relating to access. So, um, is it are you trying to access the console? Are you trying to access the Google console? Hello,
You
Martin.
mean
Are you
Yeah,
referring to me?
yeah. Are you trying to access the console?
No,
Yes, now I'm trying to do it
we're
now.
trying to access the page where you are.
Okay, the page. Okay,
Yes, where you wanna.
okay. I think Edmond can answer that.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. That I've dropped a link on the chat. You might just need to click on that and then use this particular email that was registered to access the platform. So when you get there, you just choose a part, which is Google Cloud Engineer Associate, and then you just start learning. I mean, it's pretty much straightforward. I don't know if anyone still having
Okay,
challenges. Share my screen
I'm
and
making some progress. So which part am I choosing? I'm seeing some options here. So which part am I choosing?
um, you are showing the. Let me share my screen.
There should
Okay,
be cloud engineer learning parts.
Yes.
I think the
cloud
first
engineer learning
learning
part.
part, the first topic
Okay,
is a tour of Google Cloud Hands-on Labs. That should be the first one.
You say
Do you can you see anything like that?
the thing I'm seeing here after signing in is they have different get started by selecting a learning path. So there several learning paths here. Getting started with Google Cloud learning path, DevSecOps learning path, generative AI, public sector learning path. So these are various learning paths.
So when you come to the parts,
Yes.
um, I think I've already selected a
So
part for
which
myself.
one?
You are working with the cloud engineer learning part. That is what we have been talking about since. It's because I've already selected, so it's actually giving me some.
So I'm supposed to pick cloud architect slash engineer on APG or what?
No. Wait. Don't go and choose cloud architect though.
Okay.
Don't go start.
Startup cloud engineer learning path.
Yes,
Is this
yes, yes, yes. That is the one.
startup
This one.
startup cloud engineer learning path? It has 10
Yeah,
activities.
yeah. So there are
Mm,
videos, there are instructions, and everything there for you.
okay.
Startup cloud engineer learning paths. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I don't know. Are all of us here yet?
Yeah,
Or this
startup
this one.
cloud engineer learning path. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So everything is already organized. It's just for you to just set your time and your schedules and then start learning. Any other question from anybody? Challenges?
Any issues? Okay. Derry, should I continue?
Yeah, but I think I think those concepts are a little bit kind of advanced, especially when
Self-explanatory.
yes the learning part itself is properly organized by Google, so there are videos and there are transcripts. So what they might just need to do is work on their own ends and then try to achieve the milestones. Then we'll be coming up with an assignment to throw at them, and then probably by in the next session we are going to be doing some deployments hands on. I don't know
So is
if
anyone
there's
making
any.
progress? Let's see your screen.
And again, I can't really emphasize on this enough. You are not supposed to be using your mobile phone to do anything. You are
Okay,
supposed to
so
be on your laptop.
so this is where I am right now.
Scroll up. Let's see. Scroll up.
Okay.
Hey, I think you're on track.
Yes, explore now. So is this
Introducing Google Cloud. Yeah, you're on track. You're on track.
Yeah,
okay?
you're on track.
Anybody, any other person having challenges again? Martins, yes. Please, you're not supposed to use your mobile phones. I beg. Get a laptop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when they
I'm on track.
come outside.
Okay. Um, we didn't get to see those guys from PTI, but I believe they should have got the mail and have updates. So let me drop some assignments. I don't know if that will be, but we're not going to be doing them now. So picking,
Okay,
we're
drop the
going
assignments.
we're going to be picking them up next week. I think next week is going to be live, or I don't know. Next week or next week is going to be live.
Yeah,
Physical,
next week is going to be live. It's going to be physical. So
that's what
we
we're
get
going to be
to,
doing.
yeah.
That's what we're going to be answering this. We're going to be walking through these assignments.
So the assignment, you might have to, copy the assignment and put in your text pad or your notepad, because as
Guys,
soon as you go offline, it disappears.
this let me.
Um,
I think
You
there's.
can,
I was trying to copy the
yeah, you can
assignment.
yeah, you can put it in the
yeah you can
Slack
send it to
channel.
Slack too. Yeah.
Let me send it to Slack.
Please ignore the first one. I'm trying to reorganize it again.
Okay.
So there are three assignments there. The first, you are going to be deploying a web application. The second one, you're going to be implementing some security stuff. Please don't mind the big English, the big grammar there. Once you go through the code jam, you should be able to understand everything that is happening there. And for the ones that you don't understand, we are going to be setting them up on Saturday physically. So it
Slack.
starts from deploy a web application on Google Cloud Platform. I I think we would need to. Okay, on Saturday I will bring a web application, a React app that we're going to be using. Okay, but just feel free to sort of like run through the stuffs, and then so that when we start answering them on Saturday, it will be much more clearer for you guys. I think we
Okay,
can
please.
also copy.
Does anyone have any question? Because the cloud platform is actually
You said it's how
self-explanatory.
many assignments here? Two.
There are three. It starts from deploy a web application. One, implement networking and security solution. Two, the last one will be to set up a database. Three.
Man, this homework they want to go.
Don't worry, it's nothing.
The homework get as you. Are we going to do it? Because I don't even know where to even start from. Or
Well,
you guys to show us.
okay. The idea here is that follow up with the study, right? When you
Yeah.
are fully familiarize yourself with the study, look back into the assignment. If it is something that you can do, if it is something that you cannot do, then just relax. We are going to be doing them together on Saturday.
Okay, 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 okay.
Okay. I believe these guys, you guys need a kind of a guide.
I swear.
Okay.
Please, guys, in case you miss it out, I'm sending it to the Slack channel too.
Yeah, just drop it on the Slack channel. I
That's
I'm trying to get access. I'm trying to sort of like get access to the console itself, but I don't know why. Edmond, if you have access to the console, or I don't know, I'm not being able to have access to the console. I wanted to walk us through the console.
I
Okay.
think I have access. I have access to the console.
Okay, yeah, just walk us through the console. How everything is being segmented, the networking, compute engines, and
Well,
that.
alright.
Yeah, I think that would be very nice.
Yeah, so I think I have to go back to this guy here. So when it comes to like deploying applications on console, um, please, I believe anyone familiar with way Node.js works? Node.js, any backend servers? Have anyone tried server before on your system? Have you tried to run npm run dev or Python start server or any of them? Hello?
No, I'm a newbie. I never started anything. I never started anything.
All right, let me just start a server on my system. Can everyone see my system?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
see it.
Okay, so let me just start a server on my system. Okay. Just hold on a little. Right. So this is what you'll be working with literally. This is your terminal. Like what I said, your cloud is more of like your machines in your like the local machine you have. Like this laptop I'm having currently now, I'm running stuff on it, so I can run a lot of stuff on it, and it's still the same machine that is actually on the server. However, on the server, you won't see any beautiful stuff like this. You won't see things like this. No VS Code, no nothing. Not the only thing you look is your terminal, and you have to fall in love with your terminal. So let me just go to this part here. Uh, so my local machine is how I start my server. Now we can see a couple of logs that's actually running. Now these are logs running on my server. So if I want to access it, I'll go to um, this guy. Why is this guy running out? Trying to get the box.
But H, no, not be small code they run for this your laptop. Oh.
As small thing goes.
Come on. H, you are doing wonders. Google will start looking for you very soon.
So this is loading now. So it's boot here. So this is the application here. Now this is the application running on my server currently. So now let me see if I can move these things side by side so that you can see how it works. Move these things side by side. But calm down now. Do you want this? Okay. So you guys can see that this is a server. This is a local server running on my system, right? And this is the application. So let me try to have access to this guy here. So when I log in, just take a look at this server. You can see that it's accepting the request and it says success and it's loading currently. So this has servers work actually. So now permission, you guys can see that the logs actually registering here. So, but the only thing is on your server, you don't need to start your machines or your application this way. So I just shut down this server now and let me reload. You guys can see that site not reachable is because this server is my local server is down. So the same way it works with your cloud server. However, you don't need to come to your cloud always and be starting your server. So that's why you need an NGX. So the purpose of NGX is for to run your server. So most times you see that you see something like site not reachable and the rest, and some of the server errors. When we're going deep into it, we'll actually break it down. So when it comes to your server is still your local machine running on cloud. So the thing that keeps your server running concurrently, consistently is your NGX. So when you look at this get started, hope I'm not too fast. Hello?
Oh no. It's just the server
Okay.
server concept. I believe everyone is
Okay.
understanding.
Yeah, so please, if you're having challenges, let me know so I can rephrase. Let me look for it. Trying to look for it. Yeah, I think I've passed it. Maybe it's better NGX. Okay. So when you see this one, you see connecting to your VM instances, and you see something like setting up your NGX. So first thing you want to do is after pulling to your server, you want to set up NGX so that people can have access to it. So for this particular lab, let me just start from this lab here. So by the time you have access to this guy here, refresh. Let me start it all over from scratch. So what you do is you click on this start lab. So when you click on this start lab, so I'm not a robot. Google, I not be robots now. Crosswalk. 1, 2, 3, 5. So you want to click on this credit here, launch with 1 credit. So I have Google automatically gives us this amount of credits, 9,251 credits. So you launch with these credits and you wait for it to load. So when it loads, you click on this Google console. Now it takes you to a login place here. So when it takes you here, what you have to do is come back to this place. Use this username that is being given to you by Google. Click on copy. Come to this place here. Paste it here. Click on next. Wait for the password to come up. Come to this place here. Click on your password. Then paste. I understand. No thanks. And you are in the Google console. So now on this Google Cloud Console, there are a couple of stuff here. Excuse me. So there are a couple of stuff here. We have the API and services. We have the billing. We have the IM. So IM is more of like identity something management, administrative management, or how do they call it? But it has to do with like granting permissions and the rest of them. This is Google Marketplace. In case you want to add a couple of extensions to your Google Cloud Console, these are like the compute engines. So the compute engines, that's where you find your VMs. So VMs are your virtual machines. You have your image, you have your machine image, you have your TPUs. So TPUs is more of like a tensor processing unit. So like 10 times 10 faster than your normal GPUs. Then you have your storages here. So you have your disks, you have your snapshots. So snapshot is more of like you're taking like a copy of your server. So like a complete copy of your server. That's what you do with snapshot. You have your images. What else do we have here? You have your best solutions, you have your servers, you have your networks, you have a couple of them here. Then this is Kubernetes. So you have your Kubernetes cluster, your workload, your services, and ingress. So in Kubernetes, most times you use an ingress to maintain your Kubernetes cluster and the rest of them. We still get in details in that. Then we have your cloud storages. So you have your buckets where you store files and the rest of them. So this is BigQuery. So you have your VPC networks. So your IP address, your firewalls and routes. So in terms of setting up your firewalls and the rest of them, there are two ways you can actually set up your firewalls. So there's what they call internal firewall for like hope I'm not going deep. Hello, is everyone following?
Keep going, keep going. I deal with you.
No problem, sir. So in terms of your firewalls, for Linux servers, um, Linux have its own firewall setup, like your Ubuntu machines and the rest of them. So that's internal firewall setup. So for other ones too, you can actually configure it from the high level ones. You can actually configure it from the cloud providers. So that's where you come to like you're setting up so the purpose of firewall most times is to like control the traffics that comes into your machines or your virtual machines or your VMs and the rest of them. So for the ones that the cloud provider gives to you, you can actually use that also. There's still another way you can actually control your firewall. You can set up your firewall. You can set up your firewall using Cloudflare. So Cloudflare is still more of like a protection media, so more of like a external security platform. So it tracks all traffics that comes into your system through Cloudflare. So there's what they call end-to-end security, end-to-end encryption, and the rest of them. So we get in details, and I believe everyone gets to understand it. Then this is SQL. So for SQL, you have your database. In terms of setting up your applications to run on your server, so there's an internal database. You can install your SQL server. So there's what they call the SQL server and the SQL database. So the SQL server is what actually runs, and you can actually use it to communicate with your SQL database. So for instance, when you set up your SQL on your system, the database is there. By the time you install it, the database is there, but that database needs to run. So for instance, after install, do you really think after installing your application, you don't run your SQL servers? So now your SQL server is in charge of receiving requests coming in and going out. So for instance, someone is trying to do authentication. Now NGX is running already. It runs for people to like have access to it. And when it runs, people try to log in, authenticate, and it goes to your SQL server. Your SQL server is running and it goes to your SQL database. Your SQL database check those query and it try to access that particular data you're trying to give it. They are trying to access. Then it goes back again. So these things are moving at like light of speed. You don't really know most times. So most times when you try to run your servers and you're trying to get some and you're getting some errors, you find out that okay, my SQL server is not actually running. So when it comes to like server administration and the rest of Linux administration, you have to do a bit of SQL server stuff also. So for this security, there are a bunch of security tools we have here: risk management, secret manager, key management, data loss prevention, and the rest of them. So let's go to the topic of the day, which is virtual machines. So virtual machines, you can click on this instance. It's loading. So this is create instance. So I click on this create instance. I think my time is running. My time is ticking. So these
Yes,
are how
we
you
have
set
it.
it up. So now, yeah. So this is a general purpose machine. These compute optimize. These memory optimize and GPUs. So for instance, this memory optimize is there are a couple of applications that needs a lot of RAM to run. They consume a lot of RAM. So when it comes to like memory, you want to like base your stuff relating to that. So they think this guy is not available for us. So let's come to this series. So there is Skylake, there is a cluster, and there is a Intel Ice Lake CPUs. So let me see if this guy is available for. Okay, this guy is available. So GPUs, you want to like look at the type of GPUs you have. So these are like a couple of different types of GPUs they have here. NVIDIA L4, NVIDIA T4. You want to like check it out. So the number of GPUs you want to use. So do you want to use 2 cores, or you want to use like 4 cores? What is like 4 cores GPUs? So you want to enable this guy here if you want to. But most times when it comes to cost, now relating to cost, now if you look at this place, you guys should keep your eyes on this particular one here. Now let's take it to 1. Let's see, let's wait for this guy to load. Now let's take it to 2. Cost price is loading. Now you can see that the total cost for this is about $382, right? Hello, everyone there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see you,
You're
bro.
following.
I did see you. I did see you.
Okay, so when it comes to like setting up your servers and the rest of them, you don't want your company to be at risk of overspending. So there is a concept in cloud. There's what they call a capex, which is capital expenditures, and OPEX, which is operation expenditures. So you don't want your company to be, you don't want to over allocate resources to your company, and by the end of the day, they won't use it. So these GPUs, if you're not using a lot of compute engines, it's not advisable to set up resources that you don't need. So now, if you come to this one now, let's take this guy to 1. Let me take this guy to 4. Now, initially it was $384, right? So now you can see that the total number is $740. So the price for this particular one is more expensive. So you don't want to overcharge your company. So when you're setting up your virtual machines and the rest of them, you should take note of that. So let's go back to general purpose. So let's go to EC2 machines. What do we want to set up here? Is series. So these are a couple of, we can spend some time looking at who activates Siri. So we can spend some time looking at some of these concepts here. Display device, okay. Configure virtual machine service. Container, no, I don't want. Change boots. So Dix boot and let me see Dix boots. So now this Dix boots, now this is where your operating system comes into play. Now when you look at this particular one, now you see something like image, and you see something like Debian GNU/Linux 11. So this Bull Eyes is a version of Debian. So let's see if we can Google it, and let's know the version. I think it's version 10 or version 11. So this is it here. This Bullseye, it said it's version 11. So now when you come back, where is it here? Okay, now if you want to change the type of operating system, look at this boot Dix and look at this image. Then you click on this change here. When you click on this change here, you see the versions here and the operating system. So when you click on the operating system, what operating system do you want to use? There is CentOS, there is Florida, and there is Ubuntu. Ubuntu and Debian, they make use of similar command line, but Florida is quite different. Florida OS is quite different. I think CentOS is also quite different. So you want to pick the one that you're familiar with. If you're familiar with Debian, you go with Debian. If you're familiar with Florida, you go with Florida. But Debian and Ubuntu has almost the same patterns. So you click on Ubuntu. Let's hold on. Now, these are the different versions of Ubuntu. There's Ubuntu 18.004 LTS. So anywhere you see LTS, it means a longer version. So now you can see where is the support. Ubuntu 18.04. You want to check how long it's going to support, how long that particular version is going to support. There's Ubuntu 20 and Ubuntu 22. So I think Ubuntu releases their new stuff every April though. But for you to be on the safer side, you pick a version that is actually stable. So we can decide to pick version 22.04. Please don't always go for this 10. Always look for the one that has LTS. LTS, they are the long version and they are stable. So you go for this particular one here. This one is X64, X86/64. So you can click on this. Now there are two different types. If you look at this one here, you see something like ARM64 and you see X64/S86. So please go for X86 because most times the ARMs, they are quite different in terms of configuration. And in terms of support, X86 has higher support. So you click on X86, then balance disks. So do you want to use an XSD standard and the rest of them? So I just want to leave it that way. So what storage you want to allocate to it? So this is where storage come into play. So let me just leave it 10 gig. So if you want to do more other stuff, you can do encryption and the rest of them. So let me come to this one here, custom image. If you want to customize your image, you can decide to customize your image if you want to. Let me see, existing. So do everyone understand these boot disk aspects?
Let's just say we're moving to the permanent side. Just continue.
All right, no
Guy,
problem.
your head they ought to. Your head they ought.
See,
Jesus.
the thing is that the thing is that yeah, in the code in the learning part that you guys are going to be working with, right? They are going to be breaking all these things down into simpler terms, and they are going to be making them just much more organized. But this is just in an overview of how these things are working. But in that assignment as well, we are going to sort of like walk through how everything sort of like work together, how the database work together with how the applications are working together, and how the networking now connects to everything. So this is just a general overview.
Oh, thank you very much for the consoling speech.
It's in a console speech.
I know
Oh
what
boy.
I know that I think Ejiro went a little bit too deep.
Ejiro no get joy.
He did.
Ejiro no
I
get joy
understand.
at all.
I understand. See, what will happen here is that you guys just as long as you have access to the learning part, work with those videos there. They have, I think, Matthew, your background is very noisy. Stop. Work with those videos that have been given to you guys from each of the sections, and the sections have subsections. They have a transcription and everything. So how everything works together at the end of the day, we are going to be seeing a clear picture of everything. I believe that when you have finished a section, you will even start seeing how everything comes in together. But then this assignment that we have dropped is going to give us a much more clearer picture of everything. And as that aside, we are also going to be looking at how the questions are being structured, because we are going to be sitting for an exam. How the questions are structured, if possibly look into some of the possible questions that would be asked during the exam. But I think apart from that, everything is pretty much straightforward. Just start with the videos and guide that I've been giving to you guys.
Okay,
I don't know
so
if
I wanted to ask, how did Ejiro even come to the console there?
okay.
Yeah, this is just
And
out of.
Ejiro, can you just please walk them? Is Ejiro here?
He's not even here.
I think he must have jumped off. But
Yes.
just walk with the videos. You
Okay.
see you see everything there. But if you have any question, don't please feel free to reach out on the Slack channel,
No
and then we'll
problem.
jump on.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know, Edmond. Do you have any other thing to add to them? I have another meeting like 5. Before I jump off.
What Good Luck was asking was it was asking how did you get to that end. So I think let
I
me
believe.
try.
Okay, yeah. If you can, you can. But I believe it's still going to be inside of the videos that I'm going to be watching.
Yeah, everything is self-explanatory on that video. So all you need to
Yes,
do
everything
just
is there.
get to the video and learn with it, practice with it. So Good Luck. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, yes, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay.
So guys, on Saturday, bring your laptops, bring your laptop charger as well. I think we are going to be providing you guys with internet. I'm going to be architecting the app, so we are going to be having a full clearer picture of it. I think. Let me just try and check if I have any other thing here on my schedule. Okay, that is it from my end, Sha. So if there's any other information, we'll reach out to you guys via the Slack channel. Thanks, guys.
So
Thanks.
all right.
Bye.
Yeah, that brings you to a wrap up for today's session, and then let's look out for within the week. If there's any question you have, you can just drop it in the Slack channel, and someone will be at least someone will be there to guide you. Even me, I will be there to guide you because I'm actually going through some labs. I'm getting confused. I'm coming back, just going to and fro. So next week, coming Saturday, we're going to be having a live session. So everybody come to charger, laptops, and everything. So, okay, I think Douglas is back.
I'm sorry, guys. My stuff went off. My router went off.
Yeah, sure. So we are about wrapping up to this session, and then we're asking them to bring their laptops and chargers and everything, their questions on this coming Saturday.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Sure.
All right, guys. Have a nice night.
All right. Yeah. All
Okay,
right,
bye.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Good night. Good night.
Okay, good night. Good night. Thank you.